Today is Wednesday, July 1st, 2026. We are on Livermore Road. We just passed the bottom over here of the Mount Tripyramid loop that comes down the south slide. And we are heading up the north slide. We are coming in a little bit later than we had initially planned because it rained last night, or early this morning, I guess. So I'm hoping the slide isn't too wet by the time we get there. We started at 9 o'clock. Things are definitely wetter than I expected them to be. So hopefully on the exposed part, it will be clear by the time we get there. You can see, maybe you can see, there's mist hanging over Avalanche Brook. It's because it's hot and humid and the water is cold. And yeah, looking forward to this. It's one of our favorite hikes. And I don't remember the last time we did it. Maybe last summer sometime. But yeah, hopefully it will dry. We are now at the crossing of Avalanche Brook on the Mount Tripyramid Trail. So right up there is Livermore Road. And we are watering up right now. This is the only water that's marked on far out, although we do go by Avalanche Brook again further up, but this is the best place. All right, let's water up and get going. We are at the kind of the bottom entrance to the slide. We've been climbing a little bit in this chute. I'll turn around up here. Gotta get your foot wedged. There's some people down there. And then ahead of John. And once we get up there, we're gonna be kind of staying left and we'll get to our first big slab. Okay, we're out in the sun now, so the slab is mostly dry, thank goodness. And I think we're starting to get into the actual fun climb now. We are partway up now having a snack. This is the Osceolas, Franconia Ridge behind Tecumseh, and Scour Peak. And there is a blaze right in front of John, right there. All right, getting there.
So here's Laura. She's making her way up this part, which is quite steep. I'm gonna go up next. I'll try to do it while videoing. Let's see what happens. We'll see whether this is a bad idea or a good idea. Okay. So it's pretty steep here. There's Laura up there. Which way are you going to go from there?
I'm going up this crap. It's a little bit wet right here, though. I don't like that, but...
Okay.
I think I'll be all right. Just gotta get over it.
Good luck.
We decided to stop and have lunch before we exited the slide. So this is where we're sitting right now, our view. Got Tecumseh right here with the Waterville Valley ski area. Moosa Lock in the distance. The Osceolas. This is the Kinsman's back in here. And the edge of Cannon. And then this is Franconia Ridge over here with Whaleback and the Coolidges down at the south end, and then going up to Lafayette. Owl's Head is kind of hard to tell it's there. It's like a lump right behind this lump. And I think that that's the scour. Is it? No, maybe this is, I can't remember. Maybe this is the scour right here. Not sure what that lump is right there near us. Out in the distance, Garfield Ridge Peaks, and then the Twins. And this is the Hancocks, Kerrigan, Willie behind that. Actually, no. Yeah, I think that is Willie. Looks like Willie. This is Lowell with the slides on it. You can see they're kind of red looking. And then the clouds in here, that's the presidentials. And then Stairs and Resolution are kind of in front right over here. Oops. And then the Wildcats and Carters are out behind. Okay. Well, this is lovely. I'd say the bugs are much, much, much less. We took like a week off of hiking and they're much less. That's good. What do you think? You have a head net on, so
yeah, I mean,
don't know.
they're going to bother me no matter what. So.
Yeah. All right, got a few clouds, but otherwise, really nice. There were 2 other people who climbed up the slide around the same time we did. And I think there were 3 people who turned around near the bottom. They were trying to decide. They didn't come up, so I think they turned around. Pretty quiet day. We're almost to the summit. We have to exit here to the left when you're going uphill, and then we'll get to the summit of North pretty fast. This is the summit. It used to have a cairn at it, but no longer, of North Tripyramid. And there's a view, at least in the winter, down this way. I don't think it's worth it for us. If you walk down right there on that rock, you can get it. It is always overgrown, and I think in the winter, if there's enough snow, you get a view to the presidentials, which is nice because usually you're not coming up the slide in the winter, so at least you get a view, but not worth going to today. All right, that was North Tripyramid. Not a lot of excitement there, except for the slide. And now we're heading over to south, we're gonna head to middle first, which is, of course, one of the 4Ks. And then we'll go to south. Middle has a couple little views both directions. We're over on Middle now, so there's a little restricted view right here to Tecumseh. And then down the trail, there used to be a view out to Tecumseh, but it is not, it's overgrown now. So maybe in the winter you would get it. And then Chicorowa behind Passaconaway. And wow, it is so hazy. There's mountains out there. Okay, we're gonna head over to south now. Very nice. Tripyramids, not the most exciting unless you do the slides. We are now entering the top of the south slide, and you can see it's revegetating. This is Sandwich Mountain, and then Welch Dickey right in there. Pretty hazy out towards the lakes over here. Okay, so we're gonna go down. There'll be an intersection with Kate Sleeper, which will go off to the left, and then you enter the woods, and then you come back out onto the south, the bottom part of the slide again. All right. Slow going, but fun. We're back on Livermore Road now. So the south slide is it feels pretty short. It's broken into pieces, so maybe that's why it feels short. And the trick is try to stay on larger rocks and slab as much as you can, because it's pretty slippy if you don't. And then once you're off of that, the rest of Mount Tripyramid Loop is really easy, good footing. There's a water crossing. There's a couple small water crossings, and then there's a larger one at the end. But that larger water crossing has changed in the last 2 years, and it, because of storms, it's pretty easy now. It was a rock hop today. And so we're gonna head back out to the parking area, and along the way we're gonna stop at Norway Rapids, which we've stopped at many times from this side, but apparently we did not complete the trail. There's like a little tail where it kind of goes to the left. So we're gonna go out and do that. And then we have one more little tail to pick up right near the parking lot. And we'll be done. It's like 82 degrees right now, very humid. I'd say it's really kind of gross out, but probably everybody who's watching this is someplace that's worse, right? Like Nashua or Boston, anywhere except for the Whites. The Whites is probably one of the cooler spots in New England right now. All right, next stop, Norway Rapids. Okay, we are at Norway Rapids now, and this is where the trail crosses, and I am where we went when we did this in the snowy conditions this spring. It might have been winter, and we couldn't cross. I kept my shoes on. I just stepped right on this rock and came right across. It was easy. Yeah, Norway Rapids. Excellent. It's officially complete, and we actually did the crossing and everything. There you have it. Beautiful. Oh, it's coming through in the water. Looks like there's a lovely pool right there. All right.
Making our way across Norway Rapids. Wore shoes, so being careful to keep them dry.
Okay, so we are right below the crossing where I said that looked like a nice pool. And it's like 5 feet deep in the deepest spot. Very, very cold. My legs are numb. But I feel not so gross now. I didn't get my head under. I should have. All right, Norway Rapids. The trail goes along the edge here for a while before it turns back and goes to Livermore Road. And there's a bunch of cascades and little flumes and stuff. It's really quite nice. Okay, this is Boulder Path on the Waterville side. And we came to that part and then couldn't do the crossing in the snow and ice. So we came out the other side. This is the boulder. It's quite large. John's kind of near it for scale. And there's a sign over here for Boulder Path. It looks like there's a pretty good pool if you wanted to jump in the water right before you get to the trailhead, because this is the first thing, I think. Second thing, maybe. Boulder Path. We're only a couple tenths now from the car. I think that there's a intersection for Greeley Ponds Trail is the first thing. So we're not quite to that, but this is before you get to Big Pines. All right. Well, that was fun. We are, I was going to say, how far am I? I'm at 10.4 almost. And it should be about 10.5. Maybe a couple extra tenths. Here's some tree lungwort right here. It looks kind of not very happy. I thought it would be greener, but this whole tree is covered with it. I don't think it was. I saw some good stuff though, but that wasn't it. But that tree has a lot on it. Lobaria pulmonaria. Yep, and the mushrooms are popping up now. Finally, feels like it's been really late this year. So there's plenty of mushrooms. Here's one right here. That's a pretty good one. Lots of slime molds. Several toads. Surprisingly, no snakes today. Thought they would be out, but all right. So that was the Tripyramids. We saw How many people? 6 people today. 3 of them turned around, I believe. 2 of them went up the slide with us and down South Slide, and 1 person came up Pine Bend to North Tripyramid right as we were leaving. So pretty quiet.